Unit 1 Prose Title The American Scholar Ralph Waldo Emerson Author and American essayist, poet, and popular philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson (1803 to 82) began his career as a Unitarian minister in Boston, achieved worldwide fame as a lecturer and the author of such essays as Self-Reliance, History, The Oversoul, and Fate. Emerson developed a metaphysics of process and an externalist ethics of self-improvement. He influenced generations of Americans, from his friend Henry David Thoreau to John Dewey, and in Europe, Friedrich Nietzsche. Emersonian themes are power, fate, the use of poetry and history, and the critique of Christianity. Introduction: The American Scholar was a speech given by Ralph Waldo Emerson in 1837 to the Phi Beta Kappa Society of Harvard College. Emerson argues that American culture, still heavily influenced by Europe, could build a new, distinctly American culture identity and above nature romantic points of view to explain a true American scholar's relationship to nature, building on the growing attention he was receiving from the essay Nature. This speech solidified the Emerson's popularity and weight in America. Subject of the lecture: The role of the American intellectual as distinct from the European intellectual. Purpose: Intellectualism is in America needs to break from its dependence on European thought. It shaped itself within the distinctive character of America. About text: The text answers the following questions: What an American scholar should be. How is an American scholar influenced? How should be his or her duties? Text paragraph 1 to 7 Introduction and Function, 8 to 9 Influence of Nature, 10 to 20 Influence of Books First Part, 21 to 30 Influence of Action, 31 to 45 Duties of American Scholars Second Part. Symbols: Man thinking recognizes that interconnectedness of all things and that anything they do should be for the betterment of society as a whole. Therefore, they work altruistically and must relinquish display and immediate fame and instead content with poverty and solitude. In return, man thinking will find happiness and fulfillment in exercising the highest function of human nature. Characters: Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson is specifically addressing American college students to inspire them to lead the country into an artistic revolution that will earn them the entire world's respect. Emerson believes that the nature mirrors humanity, so by studying the complexities and unities in nature, one can learn all about society as well. The American Scholar. The American Scholar is Emerson's intended audience for the essay. The American Scholar is a collective term for post-revolutionary war college students who are capable. Themes: Social unity. In his essay, "The American Scholar", Emerson urged his audience to remember that they are important parts of a larger whole. As scholars, they have a specific function in society to facilitate unity. He asserts that all people, no matter their education or social standing, play equally important roles in creating and maintaining a successful society. Themes: Nature and Connection. In The American Scholar, Emerson emphasizes the particular role that nature has in a scholar's development. Emerson believed that man was one with nature and that by studying nature, man could learn more about himself and all of mankind. Ample opportunities for scholars to study and experience nature. Creation and National Identity. The American Scholar was written and presented in 1830s when America was in a state of transition, having won independence and devoted its energies to the creation of a functioning system of government and legal system for 50 years. Americans were now at leisure to focus on forming an American identity. Influence of Nature 8 to 9. As a teacher, how similar minds and nature, notion of circular power order. Everything is connected. Abstract ideal every day the sun and after sunset night and her stars. Even the wind blow, ever the grass grows, every day men and women conversing, beholding and beholden. Influence of the past books. Learn the amount of this influence more conveniently by considering their value alone, not bookworm. Discouraged from exploring new ideas, considering books as resource. Man thinking again, explore, not copying. Influence of action. Thus, the so-called practical men seen near at speculative speculative men as if because they speculate or see they could do nothing. Institution and implementation transcend, transcendental concept present versus past actions. I think therefore I am versus I create therefore I am. Field versus library. Duties of American scholar. Obligation in general. He is the world's eye. He is the world's heart. Self-trust, self-sacrifice, who raises himself from private considerations and breathes and lives on public illustrations thoughts. Obligated to communicating the noblest thoughts and feelings to the public who raises himself from private considerations and breathes and lives on public illustrious thoughts, brave, independent, courageous. Extract from a letter. Mary Elizabeth Lee, author. Mary Elizabeth Lee was born on the 23rd of March 1813 at Charleston, which her own writings have contributed something to render classic ground. Her parents were William and Elizabeth Lee. Her father practiced the profession of the law in early life and sat for a period as member of the state legislature. Miss Lee's incessant aspirations of after perfection in every accomplishment were in nothing more signal than in her studied efforts to acquire a correct style of writing. For many years she published no poem before exhibiting it to the literary friend of her early youth. His criticisms were always unsparing. Each questionable praise or halting line or ambiguous rhyme, it was faithfully pointed out. She surmounted every difficulty and remedied every defect. About extract from a letter. You ask how I have been occupied and why I have written so little for the pages of the rose. Well, I must tell you, I have forsworn poetry and expecting a farewell to it, which I wanted to make every pathetic, have not written a verse for a long while which lines to my surprise produce at each repetition at a most unrestrained burst of laughter, and were at last set to a most ridiculous tune. Now you see, I have let you into one of the trials of the scribbling class, and perhaps it may take away any disposition which you may sometimes feel towards courting the gentle mouse. I wanted so much to produce that farewell before I furled my sail, to try no more the unsteady breath of favor. Now I am resolved not to give up the ship, but to hold on so long as the storm of public opinion does not beat to God. If you want a treat in natural philosophy, I can recommend to your Percival Euler's letter, which form two volumes of that excellent publication's deep family library. With the word conjecture, Dick's words on brought to my mind, and I want you to read them also. I am now busy with his philosophy of religion, a work which, on account of its being a little startling, interests me exceedingly. The Queen of Beauty smiled on us with a most beaming smile, but Jupiter, vexed at being swiped yet, would only show three moons, would not show the fourth, much as we decided. However, we will take another peep tonight and hope to find him better disposed. Such an unmeasured distance before it and such a long existence to live through, a star with proper study will furnish abundant food to mind and the heart also. Do you make the evening star your heart study as you promise, and does it bring me any nearer to you every evening? I hope so, or you have proved a forgetful friend.